Apparently this wasn't the only thing. This wasn't the only time that this was discussed. Because then Hassan fans began like brigading their comments. Because that's what they do. And then they would then have to contend with that. So I'm now trying to look for that. Something about their comments. Now the question is, where is it? What the fuck? Alright, I saw something really funny.
Hey everybody,
What's this? Trump ignores shut down fighter jets. Okay, here we go, guys. Ooh, okay, here we go. So this is the afterwards. This is the afterwards of that video, I think. 8 hours ago. Wow, okay. All right, let's
Hey
take a
everybody,
look.
Tim Miller from The Bulwark here with my buddy, publisher of The Bulwark, Sarah Longwell. It is Saturday morning here, and you'll be surprised to learn that the White House is called a lid on the day already. No more news coming out of the White House as of 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. The lid is, for people who aren't familiar with that phrase, like that means they won't have any other press announcements. The press secretary won't talk. Donald Trump won't do anything else the rest of the day. We won't hear anything from the White House. This is kind of an early lid, given the fact that we're in war with Iran. So we have some news on that front I want to talk about. But Sarah, how do you think things are going there in the White House?
Well, we just dropped the new focus group episode this week, and I don't know if you've checked it out yet, but we did swing voters and about Iran. But we specifically, we ask every single focus group the same opening question: how do you think things are going?
What timestamp? They talk about it. What is the timestamp? Oh, wait, hold on. Transcript. Oh, right here.
Trump's panned speech. In fact, they're probably thrilled that we've spent any time on Hasan Piker, because the genuine point is we should really all just be focused on this war, how badly it's going, and how much it's turning public opinion against Trump.
It's a nightmare. Well, I kind of forget, as you know, as I said, I took a little break from the focus groups in 2025 because I was tired of the people. But I'm locking back in now. I didn't listen to it as soon as it dropped, but I will be getting to it this weekend. But what were the Biden and Trump voters saying about the state of things last year? Like, how would they talk about? Because things weren't going really that great last year, and obviously they're substantially worse now. I'm just kind of curious, like, were they hedging? Were they?
I think you need to put those Hassan, like right here. Okay.
I mean, we could do round two on Hassan if you wanted to. I mean, I actually politician the Strait of Hormuz.
Two. Fuck no.
Which, if that happens, we have basically helped Iran become more powerful in the future and have more leverage over global domestic oil supply and the way that politicians have to respond to their own countries who care desperately about the price of oil, which, by the way, impacts not just gas prices, but so many other prices. And so it's a calamity. A calamity.
Like an unimaginable calamity, honestly. All right, well, we'll leave it there for now. No lid on the Bulwark, so if some news happens, maybe we'll pop back on. And go check out Sarah's focus group. And anything else you want to argue about, Sarah? Do you want to argue about the...
I mean, we could do round two on Hassan if you wanted to. I mean, I actually, can I just say, can we do just like 2 seconds on Discourse on Discourse?
Yeah, Discourse. People love Discourse on Discourse on Discourse. I was, just really quick, what you think about your 2 seconds on Discourse on Discourse. I was last night, I've never felt more 2026 content creator than last night, because I was, my friends were over and someone had texted them and said, hey, Hassan's talking about our thing. And so they put it on the TV at my house. And so I was watching Hassan watch me and you and talk about it. And I was feeling very metaverse. Not having that experience.
Let me guess. I was unpopular.
You were unpopular on his stream. You were unpopular on his stream. I will say. You were not that popular on his stream.
Yeah, I would say, like, there's people on Twitter who were like, man, the comments on the video that we did, like, this is a, I can't believe these are Bulwark commenters. And I'm a little bit like, guys, Hassan was streaming it, and like people were coming over to our video to comment. It's also, I would say, for a video that you and I do, a pretty low engagement video.
Right.
Actually,
yeah. No, there are way more comments on a lot of the other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very high engagement on on Twitter and other places. Yeah.
Well, like, it's a high engagement.
Him at the same, looks like he just pooped and he really needs to poop.
On the people who are commenting, but low in terms of people who want to engage with the content, which means it's like terminally online people are invested in this debate much more than like average Americans, which led me to just think, this is the kind of my 2 seconds on I'm not sure if we failed to do this or if it's just we did it over the course of an hour and so people don't see the distilled version of it, which is, I think there's two debates happening. There's a question that has been raised of, do Democrats embrace Hasan Piker, the guy, the man, which I'm a no on as like him, because I don't think that we should either embrace or wave away some of the really sort of toxic, illiberal things that he has said. That being said, the voters who are attracted to what Hassan is saying, the reality of the fact that support for Israel among Democrats and independents has fallen off a cliff. It is at historical lows. That's a different conversation. One of the comments from people it is funny. One of the meta discourse things is people were like, you don't engage with his content. And so how can you talk about him? You don't understand anything about Democratic voters. And I was a little bit like, Yeah, that also applies to me. Like, if you listen to me, you would know, actually, I know quite a lot about the voters, and I'm perfectly willing, not just willing, it's all over my book, is
okay, wouldn't it be Hassan's fault if he said like extreme things that then you have to watch the full context for? Like, I don't know. Okay, sorry. It's not necessarily his fault, but like, I feel like there should be some modicum of like responsibility, accountability, right? You can't just say anything you want as a streamer and get away with it.
Talking about how much this issue is changing, how animating it is for Democratic voters, and that when it comes to building a big, broad coalition, people who are concerned about our relationship with Israel, like, that's a big number. That's not a marginal number, right? And so I think my point is and remains that you absolutely have to engage those voters, but Democrats should do it not by being like, I've got to put my arm around Hasan Piker to do it, but by saying, I have my own opinions on how America's relationship with Israel is being handled, and here it is. Like, that is what I think Democrats should do. And there's a lot of like, why are these former Republicans talking about Democratic stuff? And can I just say on this point, always, we're just Americans with opinions, like everybody else.
Also, I voted for more of the last three Democratic presidential nominees than Hassan has. So
that's right.
To that
We've
point,
certainly done quite a bit more to elect Democrats.
I'm 3 for
over
3
here.
on the last three. No, I'm with you on that. I guess my one little distinction from that comment is I wasn't really out there arguing for embrace. What I was opposing to is attack. And there's space between attack and embrace. You know, and I think if people want to at their individual level attack, and that's fine. Other streamers or I do it. But my thing is like Democratic politicians right now just have this huge gap with these voters. And like they need to show them and demonstrate that they care and they're mad about this war and they're mad about the way that our relationship with Israel is part of this war. But that's not just Israel, but also, you know, UAE and MBS. And we don't want this. The Americans don't want to be in these wars in the Middle East. They don't want to pay more for gas. And this is a stupid war and it's managed horribly. And we're doing it in lockstep with Israel. And
it's the opposite of what Trump promised. It's getting away from us. It's deeply scary.
Yeah.
And like,
they should be yelling at that. I think there are a lot of Democrats that just would say that, like, if you asked a voter in your focus group, like, what does your congressman, your generic Democratic congressman think about this war? I think a lot of voters would be like, I don't know. The Democrats are opposed to it, but like they haven't. They seem to be kind of playing both sides a little bit. Whether that's fair or not, I think that's the impression of the party right now. And I just think that the party has a lot of work to do to gain credibility with those voters, to be clear-eyed on this. And I think like attacking prominent anti-war people hurts you in the effort to do that. And that was really anyway, that's my one distinction from what you're saying.
Yeah, and I'll just...
No, Hassan is not anti-war. Like, Tim just doesn't even seem to grasp, like, the full extent of Hassan's beliefs. Hassan is pro-war when it comes to his side, which is anti-US. All right? Just see the way that he talks about... just see the way that Hassan talks about anything regarding backing up Taiwan with military weapons, arming the Ukrainians, China's imperialism in Taiwan, in the fucking in Tibet, right? These are all things that Hassan supports. He supports imperialism, okay? But it just so happens that for all of these things, he is opposed to the war on Iran, right?
I would say one distinction for me too is that like there's what Sarah Longwell thinks herself, and Sarah Longwell herself doesn't want to rock with Hassan. Okay?
Right, sure.
That's true. That is real true. There's also Sarah Longwell, the analyst who listens to voters, who is acutely aware of if Democrats are going to build a big, broad coalition, right? They've got to figure out how to say what they believe about these things. Like when they create a vacuum, I did talk about this yesterday. People didn't engage with it too much. It's like, I always say this, if Democrats or Republicans actually won't take a strong position on, let's say, immigration, the authoritarians will, and it's going to be way worse. And so like, if Democrats won't engage in a way that I think they believe, like what bothers me is that I think most Democrats are ripshit about this war, do think it's been handled, but they're not talking about it that much, like, or like not in a cacophony. And so if you don't do that, then like people will outsource it to the Hassan Pikers of the world. Yeah. And so the demand, I think like the demands are getting confused in this conversation, where the demand shouldn't be whether Democrats do or do not embrace Hassan Piker. The question should be, are Democrats speaking out forcefully in opposition to this war? Are they saying that they themselves will change some of the way that our relationships operate with some of these actors internationally, where like we now have a thing where like we're doing we're opposed to our NATO allies, but we're going to do whatever we want, you know, with that MBS wants us to do, or what Bibi wants us to do that are more in their interest than ours. Like those are legitimate things to talk about and work through. And so that to me was the bigger thing.
All right. I don't know. I thought we were arguing about something else, like brunch or something, but that's okay. We can do more of that. We'll keep coming back to that discourse to the extent people want it. Appreciate everybody. We will subscribe to the feed, please. Tell your friends. We'll be talking to y'all soon.
Okay. Well, there you go. It's just a very, very brief interaction about Hassan.